Hi, good afternoon, everyone. So in this class, we will cover the monthly locations in news. As the weightage of location is increased in the prelims paper, in the last year, in 23, there was just 8 questions from the location. In the 22, there was a 6-7 questions from the location only. So the weightage is increased. If I say 8 question means the 16 marks. Means the 16 marks were from the mapping location only. And the good thing was we covered all the location here in the classroom itself. So if we are attending these classes regularly, in the 12 month, we will cover the 12-month location and you have a notes at a single place. तो भागने की जरूरत नहीं पड़ेगी. At the last time भी कौन सा location पढ़ना, कौन सा location नहीं पढ़ना. Before starting the class, let's see the deliverables of the current affairs, what we are exactly doing. The number 1, we are doing the weekly current affairs. Weekly current affairs every Friday we are doing. Then second, we are doing the weekly current affair test. Every Saturday. In a month, there will be a single class for the editorial. And the 1 class for the maps. Mapping, or we can say location in news. With this, you people are also getting the daily current affairs on the Edukemy website. From this month onward, you will also get the current affair magazine. And this will be a concise magazine, not having more than 80 pages. We'll also have the exercise of the question with him. From this month, like nearby 20th of August, we will release for July month. These are the deliverables of the current affairs. इससे ज्यादा पढ़ने की जरूरत नहीं पड़ेगी. इसको भी पढ़ने की जरूरत नहीं पड़ेगी if you are following this schedule on a regular basis. Okay, you people have a doubt कि कहाँ से क्या पढ़ना है, so you can scan this QR. You will find the Telegram channel specifically for the current affairs. Also the daily current affairs link of the Edukemy websites, as well as the YouTube video, which are for specifically for the current affairs. So जो भी आप लोगों का doubt specifically related to the current affairs, you can post to the Telegram channel directly. Okay. So what are the relevance of the mapping in the mains? You are all are geography optional. Without mapping, आपका question ही अधूरा है. You cannot get the good marks without mapping. Okay. So in the prelims, we can say they are asking the location, but from the last 3-year trends, what they are asking, why this was in the news also included. Initially, just they were given the names like a Suriname, or maybe some of the places in the Syria, and they are asking they are located in which country. But now the other question, why? This was recently mentioned in the news because of due to the conflict in that area, or maybe due to some other region. So these are the pattern of the UPSC changing. So they're asking the different kind of question there. So we will do approximately the 20 locations for the world. And for the Indian location, I will tell you the name and you will search about those locations. Why these locations were in the news in India. So the first location is the Cuba. Cuba. Why this was in news? US recently confirmed that China had a spy base in Cuba from 2019. So these are the strategic location. Cuba is near to the USA. Everybody know about the Cuba missile crisis. What? क्या था वो? नाम ही सुना या कुछ था क्या? Exactly what was the Cuba missile crisis? Russia want to deploy their nuclear missile to the Cuba as a defense base, but the USA retaliate कि you cannot do that because the USA is very nearby to the Cuba. So in this location, we will see the nearest place to the Cuba. The capital is Havana. You can note down the names. You can note down the location. At the end of the class, you will get this PPT, but note down the names. And nearby location, we need to, whenever there's a location in the news, we need to be see the nearby places as well. Okay, because the UPSC, it's not like they will ask this location, they will can go to this location also and this location also. So we need to be look with the Cuba, we need to be look the Bahamas, we need to look with the Jamaica and the Haiti. So these are the important location you need to be look when you are looking at the Cuba. And the sea, the water body nearby. Water body nearby, the Caribbean Sea and the Gulf of Mexico. Any other region for Cuba किस चीज के लिए फेमस है? Sugar production. Recently, Cuba and Brazil put a case against India in the WTO with respect to the sugar production, because the India is providing the subsidy to the farmers with relate to the sugar production, and that is against the WTO rules. So means they are also providing the subsidy in the production and also providing a subsidy in the case of export also. So they both filed the case with respect to the WTO and they won the case also. हाँ, yes. हवाना शिंदो, ये भी न्यूज में था. Which country in the world is the highest consumer of the sugar? Chinese तो खाते ही नहीं. India. India is the largest producer and the largest consumer of the sugar. So this was the first location. Even in the case when these locations are in the news, they can ask from the north to south also. That specifically in the case of islands, they will ask. So this was the Cuban missile crisis के बारे में था, when the Russia was deploying the missile near to the Cuban base. Then the USA was in the direct range of the missile. In the direct range of the missile, nuclear missile. So that's why the Cuba has become the important here. Next is the Belize. Belize declared free from the malaria by the WHO. कहाँ पे है? In which continent this country locate? North America. कहाँ है? तो Belize. We see the country which is bounding this country, Guatemala. बहुत न्यूज में रहा due to Mehul Choksi. Then the Honduras. East Labrador, it is not sharing the boundary with the Belize. East Labrador is not sharing the boundary. Then the Nicaragua. These are the country near to the Belize. And why this was in new? Due to the malaria. It's a big achievements. Like they are free from malaria now. Not like India from the last 75 years. We are fighting with the dengue and malaria till now. So you will write the capital also, Belmopan and the Belize. Next is the Suriname. Suriname का historical क्या है? What is the historical context of the Suriname with respect to India? Migration, indentured labor का नाम सुना होगा? उसको approximately 150 years हो गए. Indentured labor. The Britishers were taking the Indian labor to the different countries. They are known as the indentured labor, and the first country was the Suriname there. So this is from the Ministry of External Welfare websites, Affairs websites. President at the commemoration of the 150th anniversary of the arrivals of the Indians in the Suriname. Means in approximately we can say 1890, 1880 के आसपास they take the Indians to the Suriname. Let's see the location. The Suriname capital is the Paramaribo and the boundary country is the Guyana and the French Guiana. These are the different country, Guyana and the French Guiana. And also, we can say it's sharing the boundary with the Brazil. It's sharing the boundary with the Brazil as well. So whenever we are looking at a country, if there is any historical perspective, it's not like they will always ask the location. Even they can frame a question on the indentured labor. We need to connect the news with the historical perspective as well. Okay. So in the case indentured labor, there was a question in the mains also. I don't remember maybe in 2016 or it's maybe in 2017. The question was related to indentured labor, was in the mains. Next is the Serbia. President Murmu arrives in the Serbia on state visit, and this was the first state visit of our president in the Serbia. The boundary country, the Romania, Hungary, Croatia, Bosnia, Montenegro, Kosovo, and Bulgaria. These are the boundary country of Serbia. And the river, Danube River, Sava Lake. This was already asked by the UPSC, Sava Lake. So you will remember about the river and the lake here. जो लगता है कि randomness है UPSC के पेपर में, they are asking about the some lakes, they are asking about the some of the inner places from the different country. That's not the randomness. If there any country in the news, so we need to be know about the famous places in that country, or any of the major water body, or any of the major river. So we need to be note down that also. तो सवा लेक पे तो ऑलरेडी क्वेश्चन आ चुका है, तो यू नीड टू बी रिमेंबर आल्सो. लाइक द LLC, they already asked 3 times. 3 times LLC का पूछा, तो maybe there is a chances they will ask again the question related to the lakes also. Next is about the Mali. There is a constitutional amendment in the Mali related to the referendum, and it's recently approved. Let's see about the Mali. Let's first see the river Niger, and the country boundary, Algeria, Mauritania, and the Tropic of Cancer is passing through this country. Even the prime meridian is also passing through this country. And the Niger River is the major river of the country. And the Sahara Desert. And this region was in the news. There's also some conflicts is going on here. So that's why this is also in the news. We will note down about the Niger River, prime meridian, Tropic of Cancer, and the boundary country related to Mali. अगर हम ऐसे करते हुए चलते हैं तो ऑलमोस्ट वी आर एंड अप विद 150 लोकेशंस. इससे बाहर से कोई क्वेश्चन आएगा नहीं, आई गारंटी. इससे बाहर से कोई भी क्वेश्चन आपको मैपिंग से नहीं मिलेगा इफ यू आर रिवाइजिंग रेगुलरली. ऐसा नहीं है कि एक दिन बैठ के याद करना है. सी द मैप्स ऑन अ डेली बेसिस, तो ऑटोमेटिकली याद हो जाता है कि ये कहाँ पे. टिम्बकटू बचपन में सुना होगा, इस पे कोई कार्टून भी आता था. ठीक है. Next location is Nigeria. Nigeria. Recently, our ministers Rajnath visit to the Nigeria on the swearing in ceremony of the president. So Nigeria is in the news. And one thing, these are not from the single newspaper. Some are from the Reuters, some are from the Indian Express, Times of India, the Hindu Business Line, the multiple 10, 12 newspapers. These are the location taken. So Nigeria. The boundary country is the Benin, Niger, Chad, and the Cameroon. Hmm. What is the capital of Niger? Nigeria. Miami. And spelling बोलना. Niamey. Niamey is the capital. इसमें major water body नहीं है. There are no like only this lake. We can say the Kainji Lake, but that's not the major water body. तो इसको पूछने के chances बहुत कम रहेंगे. They will not ask about it. Okay. And the river Niger is also flowing through the Nigeria as well. River Niger. Next, we are going to the clashes in the Senegal. Leave at the list 9 dead. And the UPSC is focusing on those areas which are having the conflicts. Even in this year, you will find they asked the question from those regions which were in the conflict in the last year. So mostly 4-5 questions conflicting areas से ही पूछे गए थे. Even it's the region of the Russia and the Ukraine. Even it's the region of the, we can say, African region. And also they asked some of the questions from the Syria and the Turkey because of the major earthquake. तो वो majorly focus करते हैं जो limelight में region है. But we are specifically focused on the city. लेकिन जो उसके आसपास के city हैं वहाँ पे हमने focus नहीं किया. If we say we are always talking about कि Syria में earthquake आया, but there are only the 5-6 cities which are majorly affected by the earthquake. So we need to know about these cities as well. So only the name of the Syria is not enough. We need to know the cities as well because they're asking about the specific city now. So the boundary country here is the Mauritania, Mali, Guinea-Bissau, and the Guinea. These are the boundary country, and the Gambia also. These are the boundary country of Senegal, and it's in the Atlantic Ocean. The Atlantic Ocean. आपके सबके यहाँ पे मैप तो हो गई. Mark with the colored pen, like a class 1 with the red pen you can mark. This is the class 1, and you can make some symbol. These are the important locations, so you can daily basis पे आप उसको देखते रहो. Then जब class 2 होगा तो you can mark the class 2 location, so it's easy to remember. So river flowing through this country is the Gambia River, and this is the major river in this country. This is a major river in this country, Gambia River. If we see, it's like a continuous from the one end to the second end. Next is the Belarus, which is the country bounding the Black Sea. Which country bounding the Black Sea? Recently, Timbuktu added in the UNESCO city in danger list. Yes, Timbuktu was added in the UNESCO city of the danger list. Timbuktu. Country bounding the Black Sea. Anybody? Russia, Ukraine, Romania, Turkey. अजरबैजान कहाँ से आएगा? जॉर्जिया, Bulgaria. These are 6 countries which is bounding the Black Sea. So you can remember through the, those who like the coffee, they can learn through the GTR brew. Those who are liking the tea, they can learn like the burger tea. These are mnemonics for it. So you can remember the name. बुल्गारिया, यूक्रेन, रशिया, जॉर्जिया and Turkey and Romania. ठीक है. And the country for the Caspian Sea, the same you can learn for the Caspian also. Anybody for the Caspian Sea? Tariq. Turkmenistan, Azerbaijan, Russia, Iran, Kazakhstan. Tariq, you can remember for the Caspian Sea. This Black Sea question was already asked by the UPSC in 2020. Which of the following country bounding the Black Sea? Okay, so let's see about the Belarus. The country bounding the Belarus is the Russia, Latvia, Lithuania, Poland, and the Ukraine. This Russia, Latvia, Lithuania, Poland, and Ukraine. हाँ, ये भी रशिया का पार्ट है, ये वाला पार्ट भी रशिया का. Next we can come to Iran. Recently, the Iran unveils its hypersonic ballistic missiles, and why this was in the news? बाकी सब country भी करते हैं, तो why pick up क्यों लिया हमने ये? There is an agreement between the US and the Iran. There was a nuclear deal, P5+1. What is the name of the nuclear deal? JCPOA. It is also known as the P5+1 deal. Means the Iran was under the control of these 5-6 countries. Means any action taken by the Iran for any of the nuclear activity, that should be reported to these countries. So without the authorization of these countries, the Iran unveiled its first hypersonic ballistic missile. So we see these are some of the locations where they are having the nuclear program. Bushehr, Isfahan, Fordo, Natanz, and the Bunab and the Tehran. Simple question will be in the UPSC. Natanz, Fordo, and the Bushehr was recently mentioned in the news. These are located in which country? उस टाइम पे याद नहीं होता कि these are location from the which country. So through the name we cannot tell these are the part of the Iran. So you need to be remember the name. These are the 5-6 major area where their nuclear program has been successfully launched. You can note the name. And this is the uranium mine. We can say one of the largest uranium mine, Bandar Abbas. This is the largest, one of the largest uranium mine is known as the Bandar Abbas. Next we can go to, it's sharing the boundary with the two water body, Caspian Sea and the Persian Gulf. Caspian Sea and the Persian Gulf. Caspian Sea country, repeat करेंगे वही country name, Iran, Kazakhstan. So, and the country bounding the Iran, Iraq, Turkey, Armenia, Azerbaijan, Turkmenistan, Afghanistan, and Pakistan. You can note the name: Pakistan, Afghanistan, Turkmenistan, Azerbaijan, Armenia, Turkey, and Iraq. It is the country which sharing the boundary with the Iran. And Iran is sharing the boundary with the two water bodies. One is the Caspian Sea and the second is the Persian Gulf. These are some of the important area you can note down. Mosul, Bandar-e Abbas. This is also the port in the Iran. Mashhad, Bushehr, and the Hamadan. These are some of the important locations in the Iran. Mashhad, Mosul, Hamadan, Bushehr, and the Bandar-e Abbas. When we see these names into the paper, we have an idea these are part of the Central Asian country. But from which specific country these are having? We need to know about from which country these locations are there. Then next is about the Lake Victoria. There is a very negative climate effects on the Lake Victoria. And the country bounding the Lake Victoria, you can see here, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And there is a port in the Kenya on the Lake Victoria. You can note the name of the port, Kisumu. There is also a port on the eastern side of the Kenya. Anybody can tell the name? Mombasa port. Mombasa port on the eastern side of the Kenya, and on the western side it's a Kisumu. You can also write the name of the Musoma. Is also the port in the Lake Victoria, and in this side Mawanja. And the equator is passing through the Lake Victoria. So there can be a statement type question, like they're switching it to. They will give the three statements. Equator is passing through this water body. This is surrounded by the three countries, and also having the port, the name of the port they will give. Identify the area. Next is the Kenya. Nairobi is famous for COP. There was a conference of party is known as Nairobi Declaration. Nairobi Declaration. Headquarters. Then in the case of the Lake Victoria, we see the country. And so there are two other lakes also. You can note the name, the Lake Kyoga and the Lake Albert. Lake Kyoga and the Lake Albert. And the river name is the White Nile. This is also important. Whenever you are reading the paper, if there is any news related to the drying up of any water body, कोई भी water body के dryness की बारे में बात है, तो please note down the water body and note down the name of the country also. Next is the Duqm port in Oman. Duqm port in Oman. Recently, our National Security Advisor, Ajit Doval, visited to the Duqm port. This is a strategic port located in the Oman. So let's see first about the Oman. The country bounding the Oman is Yemen, UAE, Saudi Arabia. These are the three countries which bounding the Oman. इसको क्या कहते हैं इस region को? What's the name of this region? Persian Gulf. So you should remember the name also, which country bounding the Persian Gulf, or the Persian Gulf shares its boundary with which of the following country. So you can see the name Iran, Qatar, Bahrain, Saudi Arabia, UAE, and the Oman also. Kuwait, नहीं, कुवैत नहीं करता. What is the name of this country? पक्का? These are the countries which sharing the boundary with the Persian Gulf. यहाँ तो ये एक बार देखना पड़ेगा. You can check. ठीक है? Okay. Next is about the port. There are three major ports. You can note down the Pakistan port, port of Gwadar. In the Oman, the port of Duqm. And here in Bahrain, the port of Manama. The port of Manama, port of Duqm, and the port of Gwadar. These are three important ports in this area. हाँ, चाहबार पोर्ट भी है, लेकिन दी जो अभी रिसेंट चाहबार इज लाइक लास्ट 4 years से न्यूज में है, तो वी कैन स्किप दैट पोर्ट. तो ये वाले पोर्ट ऑफ दुकुम ये बहुत कम न्यूज में रहता है. सो देयर इज द हाईएस्ट चांस कि दे कैन आस्क अ क्वेश्चन हियर. So these are the members of the Gulf Cooperation Council. You can note down 6 members: Qatar, Saudi Arabia, Bahrain, Kuwait, Oman, and UAE. Qatar, Saudi Arabia, Bahrain, Kuwait, Oman, and UAE. These are some of the important ports on the eastern side of Africa. You can note down the name of the port: Lamu, Mombasa port. हाँ. The port on the eastern side of the Africa is very important. Eastern side of Africa. जो important port है, they are very important for the examination. So you can see the name of the port. Done. So you can write the name of the port: Lamu, then Mombasa. Lamu and Mombasa in the Kenya. Lamu, Mombasa. Then you can write the name of the port: Zanzibar, Dar es Salaam. Also, you can maybe they have very less chances from north to south. You can see. Other are the not much important. These 4 you can remember. And this is the Lake Victoria. Here also 3 ports. Next is the Indonesia volcano. There are so many volcanoes in Indonesia. So the Indonesia Anak Krakatau volcano, ash, lava, and new eruption. There was a question in 2019 or 2020 directly related to the eruption of the volcano in the Indonesia. So there is a higher chances they will give the question related to it. Maybe the second type of the question you will find match the following pairs question. They will give the name of 3-4 recent volcano and the country they belong to. So there can be a question related to it. So you can write down the important name: the Mount Merapi. This is the Krakatau. Mount Merapi, Krakatau, Semeru. Karangetang. These are the 4 important ones. Krakatau, Merapi, Semeru, and the Karangetang. Next is about the Fiji. So Fiji island, there can be a chance they will ask the from north to south because the old islands are here. The Solomon Island, Vanuatu, New Caledonia, and the Fiji is here. So there is a higher chance they will ask in a row from north to south, arrange the following island. So you can arrange according to that. There is no other location you can remember in the Fiji. This is the you need to remember the old name of these islands. सबसे पहले Tuvalu, then you can write Solomon, Wallis and Futuna, then Vanuatu, then Fiji, then Tonga, and the last is the New Caledonia. Fiji, Tonga, and the New Caledonia. Next is Comoros. INS Trishul at Port and Joyuan of the Comoros. So recently the INS Trishul was there. That's why this is the news. This is also the island area. And there is a very less chance they will ask about this location. But this was in the news, so I picked up. There is a very less chance क्योंकि आसपास ऐसा कुछ है नहीं जो वो पूछे. And now let's come to the Indian location. You can note down the name of the Indian location. Uhul River in between Punjab and Himachal Pradesh. Siri Fort, Raigad Fort, Cochin Port, and Mahakaleshwar Temple. Mahakaleshwar Temple. From the next class onwards, I will also add some of the species in the news in the last month and also the important national park also. Uhul River, Siri Fort, Raigad Fort, Cochin Port, and the Mahakaleshwar Temple. And these are the reasons why they were in the news. लिख लिया? हाँ, शिवाजी महाराज. Next location are Kamakhya Temple, Assam. ये हर साल in न्यूज में रहता because of the Ambubachi Mela. But you need to know about historical perspective. Kamakhya Temple. Sundargarh Forest Division in Odisha, because they are considering it as a geo-heritage site, declaring as a geo-heritage site. Golconda Fort in Telangana, and the Oravakalu village in Andhra Pradesh. A Mesolithic era painting was found in this village. Kamakhya Temple, Assam. Sundargarh Fort Division, Odisha. Golconda Fort in Telangana. And the Oravakalu village in Andhra Pradesh. These are some of the locations which was in the news in the last month. In Saturday test, you will find 6 to 7 questions from these locations. So please try to remember the area nearby, water body nearby, any particular location, any UNESCO heritage site in this area, or any of the like the region, conflict region, if any of the किसी भी location में कोई conflict region है. So this is will be your homework. Out of the 20 questions, the 6-7 questions only from these locations. So there will be the higher chance all of you get the right. सातों के साथ क्वेश्चन सही होना चाहिए. Any other question you people have, so you can ask. From the next class onward, you will find the question with the each location also. Due to the lack of time, I was not able to frame the questions. But from the next class onward, with the each location, you will find a single question. So you have a better idea how the question can be framed on these locations. And through the question, you will also have an idea क्या पढ़ना है, क्या नहीं पढ़ना है. Where need to be focused on, किस जगह पे focus करना है. You need to be look at nearby country to these location, water bodies near to these location, area of conflict, major river, lakes, any UNESCO heritage site. You need to be look from these locations. Okay. So we will meet tomorrow again at 2:15 with the weekly current affairs session, where I will discuss 2-3 topics in detail with respect to the mains. So you have a clear idea for both prelims and the mains, how to use the current affairs in the mains and how to use the current affairs in prelims. Okay. So we will meet tomorrow at 2:15. If anybody have any doubts in current affairs, नहीं. Tomorrow is the weekly current affairs. Uhal River is in between the Himachal Pradesh and the Punjab. Yes, test will be on Saturday at 11. Pravesh. एक मिनट.